What's up, YouTube? We're gonna look at cars and trucks. Not a lot, but some quality. I'll tell you that. Let's take a look. First, Greenlight on the table right now. And we got these cars just recently. Now, this Hot Pursuit series just kind of hit. And I was lucky enough to find them on the pegs. 2 of the 3 I wanted. So not too bad. Let's take a look at the package. So this is going to be all the way 2024 Series 45. We got an 83 Impala and a 22 Mach-E. So the Mustang Mach-E, the electric. But police, NYPD, and this is actually based on a real program. We'll talk about that. 83 Impala, new casting or revised. We already have the box caprices. But up until 85, we used Impala. The Caprice really became, once Chevy got rid of Impala police package, tried to move on to a Caprice, but it was always Impala, really from 77 to 85, 84. And this is it, so it's good that we have it. Same issue with the chassis that all of them have, it's a little low. And we can adjust that. We basically got to drill the chassis out, and then you got to raise it. Production number, let's see, 1474, 83 Impala. Really, really nice. This is the classic Maryland State Police car. And yeah, they were yellow. Now they're like dark green. But they have this cool yellow. Got the little single gumball up top. Impala front end. Take a look. Inset headlights. So supposed to have a little bit of division here. It's not a solid. It'd actually be two lenses. So really, if I were to take a fine brush or something, or maybe a marker, and just do one line right there, you could tell it's cast but 2. If you look closely, it's just they made it solid. Grill's good. It's a little weird because they tampo the grill, so it's a little goofy looking. Not back here, it's not bad. But Impala, really no trim on these cars, no side trims. They did the deck real nice, so they have that silverish gray insert. They would have had these taillights like this. It looks really good. Impala's on the C-pillar. And then we got the dog dish wheels. Those are nice, nicely done. And the graphics are great. So I like the casting. I'm glad I have it. It's a good classic. Now this looks really yellow on camera, but it's that really light banana yellow, kind of washed out and whitish. That's really the correct hue that they used. This car is actually, you could find a picture of this on Google Images. You just the old State Police Impala, they'll show it. It's very pretty. All right, simple car. Some of these State Police cars, unlike the cities and the towns, a lot of them are a little cheaper, a little bit less marked up, and they're very clean cars. So that's why I kind of like the State Police cars the most. All right, now let's move on to this Mustang. Kind of interesting. New York City Police. This is a test program. I think it started last year. In a lot of respect, most of the things that police are doing, and if you get the electric car right, actually benefit the police to have the electric vehicle and not the gas. And it's not just saving money. It's just really the sitting in the car. Cars are sitting a lot. And if they can run everything, charge the vehicle even. And then they have good acceleration and stuff. I understand the range. Heavy duty city like this where there's a lot of police, you're not giving chase for such a long distance. So, but the short bursts, it's there. And then of course you're sitting with your equipment on, running climate control, but not burning any fuel. They did a really good job on the casting. Only one of these 4 tires had just a little bit of flashing where it had like a bump to the tire. Now Just a little bit of cleanup with a knife and it runs very, very good. They have this in the showroom stock series, so hopefully I'll get at least 1 or 2 of these as one of those releases. It has the film, the oilish film. I didn't wipe this down with a terry cloth yet. You can see in that window, see how there's some debris in there? That's that oil. Really, the only way to do that is drill this out and wipe it down. I think it's just like molding release agent or something like that. Seems to be the residue. Great graphics. Again, they're using that FSD livery. A lot of times if you pay attention, Greenlight will release a casting like this, and then they'll release another one down the line as a hobby exclusive, and they'll have like, it'll come with a sheet of decals where you can make the area where the car's serving custom. You know, the unit number and even the precinct and things like that can be adjusted, and then you can fill it in, and they'll do the base graphics, and they'll do this part where you can fill it in. So a lot of times, instead of having to alter the first run, then you can do the second. My collection's going. I think I should probably do another catch-up video in terms of NYPD and CHP at least. I got a pretty growing collection. We can look at those cars. And it'd be fun because they're all scales now. You know, 1/18 scale down to 1/64. Got the vision light bar. A lot of new technology on these cars with the camera systems and stuff and the Wi-Fi capability and things like that. So it really will help the police in the future, you know, having a vehicle like this. Instead of having a cord, we have the inductive charging systems are starting to become played out and researched and engineered. They're going to be doing a road in Michigan where you can drive on the road and it charges the vehicle. But if there's certain parking spaces for police vehicles, you can envision those small pieces of real estate where the police car sits for a little bit. They're going to be doing their patrol and charging the car at the same time. So it's kind of good if you want to envision it that way. All right. I filled in a gap in my Squarebody collection. You know, it's of the mainline release of Auto World, not the all hobby exclusives. That would be a lot of vehicles, but for at least what they've been producing, these have been very elusive. Usually I have a kickback attitude about Auto World. Most of the time, the cars come up on the shelves eventually. These weren't, and I was getting tired, and they still are decent prices. You know, you get the spike in price when everybody's buying them the first time, then it kind of chills out. The inventory sits a little bit. And so I got twofer on these. First, this one. So this is probably, yeah, this is 2023 release too. You know, it's so behind on these. I mean, I know you can get these right out the gate, get a case or whatever, or get a pack of 6, but I got version A and B. These are really cool. I can understand why people like the rest of the trucks. A lot of the times people don't like the way they looked or whatever. You could find them. These were really hard. I also think that the word has started to spread a little hard in terms of, you know, you could probably make a quick $1 or $2 if you're so inclined, but you know, I typically just like to have the trucks out, so it's not a big deal for me. So I was able to get them. Let's take a look at them. I was very curious about the blue and the silver two-tone truck, how the wheels looked. I knew that they were using those wheels that they used on like the Chargers and everything, Challenger cars. But they used a different tire, a little thinner tire. It's about what you can fit in that wheel well without it rubbing. You can see the issue is how thick this is. And I wanted to run a little bit more back spacing on this. The rear is not bad. You can see if they wanted to, they could get a pretty thin wall in there where this one's super thick. I don't know why. The difference maybe because they wanted to make sure the casting was hardy enough for having this open gap. Who knows? If you have your dremel with the bit, you could probably smooth this out and get this, which most people do when they drop these. Auto World, since they have the depth of the bed, a lot of times they have to be clearanced. Same thing with the inner fenders. So a lot of people customize these that slam them even more than this. This is about as much as you can do without it rubbing. All I had to do was clean up the tires a little bit. Rolls good. This is the 80, what was it, 85? So it's supposed to have the, yeah, it's 85, isn't it? Yeah. Solid painted bar in the middle. Sometimes silver. So it's all black. I'd have to color match this blue and kind of put it in. But what I'm talking about is this bar right in here would be all that color. Kind of like the picture is here on this. You can see. So that's a really good rendition of what the truck, you know, if I wanted to fix this up a little bit, kind of get it there. Kind of push those front tires out a little bit more. Get a fatter tire on it. But it's a cool looking truck, although I would say that for this color scheme, I was thinking about this, it's going to be changed to using these wheels. So we're going to put the rallies on and with the stock tire, and then this will look really sweet. I think we'll save that wheel and tire setup for a different truck. But I wanted to show you how it looked before I tore into it. Very nostalgic, that color scheme. It was probably on a lot of the trucks that we saw coming up. You know, either blue or silver, vice versa. You know, what was the major color, what wasn't. So, bed and the paint's that metallic, so it lays really even. There's no pooling. A lot of your reds and whites, they have a lot of pooling on their paint. These lighter metallics, the silvers and stuff, the blues, they lay real good. You can take a look at the casting very well. We have the all black block. Let's take a look and see if we can get a better view in there. So just probably one of the nicest castings. It's nice because it's a good pocket truck. No mirrors don't fall off, and everything's metal, even the bumpers. So we're not worrying about anything coming off. I did break this bumper off already, so I had to fix it. But these rims are going to look good on this. And so we're going to find another donor truck. Hopefully I have something that in my stash that I could do part with. Probably can. Okay. And then the other one, this is another one I really wanted. And this one looks great with the stock rims. The later trucks, they're having issues with getting this black to be centered. Most of the trucks are all over the place. This one, I'm going to have to take the acetone and get this silver over here. Get that off of there. So, just a little bit. Little off center. But it looks awesome. You don't really have to worry about them blacking out the grill because it's already a black truck. So, we can run with that. This one's really sweet. I could see why it was hard to find this one. All black looks really good. Got the black interior, so triple black truck, you know, all the way. One thing I noticed that I never noticed until I bought one of these was the blue stripe. And they put that just on the tailgate. I think it looks sweet. That little blue accent line. Just gives it that custom look. Besides the lowering. And then we got the white with the chrome caps. White wheel. They do the rim chrome when they wipe this off. It looks good. It looks like it has trim rings on it. But I might paint it all white. I do like it all like super stock looking. So I might take the trim ring look away. I wish that Auto World would tool a bench seat for these trucks. You know, the consoles, the buckets, you know, not as realistic. That's a very rare, on the late 80s trucks especially, mid to late 80s, they're not really seeing the bucket seats too much. So it'd be nice to have a bench in there. I'm sure you could put the M2 setup, because M2 did both. They do bench and console, you know, buckets. So there we go on that. All right, let's look at, we look at these C10s all the time. We know we love them on the channel. Let's get to some new stuff. So I got finally some mini GT. I like getting mini GT for the collection. But a lot of the stuff is like recolors and things, and there's still more biased towards modern cars. So we've been filling the collection, like the old Land Rovers. Got 3 of those. I got recently we got the old 911. So the older stuff I like kind of a little bit more. Got the old Lancia Stratus. Let's take a look at this car. This is a Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7. So this is a 73 car. Now they're going to do the white with green, which I can't wait to get. But I was like, I got to get this one too. This is like a homologation car. So they were trying to get, you know, these sports cars going a little bit heavier, going to different classes and stuff. So they wanted to do a 2.7 liter engine and yada yada. So this car, they only needed 500. They ended up making almost 1,500 cars, and they did a 74 model, I think, with a little bit more horsepower. This car is flat 6. It's about 210 horse on it. European only. I don't think they came to America. Mechanical fuel injection, flat 6 car. They could get them down. They did some iterations of this. I think this is the standard car kind of, but they even had a lighter weight one where they like the metal was thinned, like it was the gauge of the metal was thinner. So they did cars like that, and they got them to get down to like about 2,000 pounds on these cars. So that was part of the recipe of these. Not like the Americans back then, they were doing, you know, horsepower and cubic inch, a little bit more finesse using the power. So these do. So Mini GT has a really good 911 body. We saw it on the classic 911, that first one we looked at. We got the ducktail spoiler. We got the 2.7 call out on the intake there, or a heat extractor. You can see how nice the glass is in that reflection, and the roof. Real, very, very nice casting. Of course, we have that soft rubber mirror. Very delicate. I know it's like it prevents breaking to a certain extent. It still will work itself off. Really nice headlights. Look at those things. So the bumper was changed out, and the rear bonnet, and you can see that this car doesn't even have its license plate on it yet, so that's really cool to have that little stamping there. That would be behind the license plate. Taillights look exceptional. Then we got our metal base. Now, what was interesting about this, I took the original 911 I bought apart, and they actually put some weights inside this chassis. There is a casting basically up here by the axle line, and it's just a block of metal that's cast with the chassis base, and it gives some weight to this model, and it really does. Obviously, this would be pretty light because it's a small car. It's like half the size of the C10 behind it, so it was kind of ingenious for them to add that. It rolls good. There's a little wobble to it. I don't know why. There's the same little wobble that I got with the other 911. I kind of worked most of it out, but it's just kind of the way they come. Just a slight, it's a little bit. It's more like the casting of the tire than it is the wheel. You can see this back rim kind of has a little bit of a shimmy. So basically, they just have to come off. We just take them off these axles, just twist them off and get them reseated. These are the knurled axle ends, so they have a propensity to kind of wobble if you don't spin the tire a little bit when you put it on there. It'll kind of cockeye the wheel. Not a big deal. You can see how nice the casting is. What a beautiful car. This is more known car probably in Europe than the United States, unless you're a Porsche person. But very, very great. Good car. One of the best classic 911s, I guess, out there. One of the purest. And a beautiful box. I got the European box. I don't need the clamshell. These come out first, and then they do the Miho exclusive that they import with the clamshell. Now, you can get these. There's a bunch of people on eBay that sell them. I get them. Go find you one. They're still out there. I'm waiting for the green and white, so that's going to be really slick. All right. This car is amazing. I don't really go for these super tuner cars, but this, I just was like, you know what? This looks so cool. And I know that Kaido House does the metal wheels, and we're going to take a look at these in depth. But let's take a look at the box. Box is sweet. Now, again, these cars aren't 100% true 1/64 scale. They're more like a Hot Wheels where it gives it presence. They don't go bonkers with the going off scale. This might very well be 1/64th, like dead on, but I doubt it. You know, especially their 510 and the 240s that they do, the Zs. Those cars are, you know, bigger, you know, because they'd be really small if it was real scale. All right, so Kaido House, I already taken it out. And this has been on my Instagram. This thing is awesome. So this is cool because I think Evasive is stateside. I don't think it's overseas. I went to their website. These are on their website last time I looked. So a lot of these have gone up in price big time. But if they still have it on their website, you know, they're cheap and they came with a key ring. So if it's still there, I might get a second one of these. They're just so cool. Anodized paint's kind of like Spectra Flame, and then we got the metal wheels. You could see the metal on these a lot better than my other Kaido, which is a C10, of course. I might get the dark blue of this, and I'm going to get the dually with the flames. There's going to be a dually with the 8-foot bed flames red. That's going to be sweet. The other one I really wanted there's a yellow with black wheels of this coming out. That's very exciting for me because I like that solid. I'm not a sticker guy, but this is really cool looking. So, and I kind of like it the way this is. Now, we're going to get this popped open. I've had it open before. It's a pain in the butt just because it shuts on the car so nicely that it's hard. It doesn't even look like it's supposed to open. It does, and we'll take a look at it. And it's got the V6 in it with the VTEC. So it's got the wide body kit. Plastic panels put on the metal car. And we got the flip-up headlights. Left-hand drive. So that's really sweet. I really like that. That's left-hand drive. And they do the Honda, but it's an NSX. So it almost is like they took the North American Acura NSX and just, you know, put a Honda on it and made it all JDM. Got the Kaido House blued base. These wheels run like they're on bearings. It's just awesome because it's all metal in there holding it up. So sweet. These are turned metal. Let's take the tire off just so you can see how nice it is. I wish all wheels and tires were like this just because they're so well done. Obviously with a metal wheel like that, you don't have to worry about it. And it's a little wobbly, but that's because they get pushed on this axle. You can actually fix that a little bit. But you can see it turned, and then we have the oh so fine printing on the tire. This one says Evasive. Very similar to the Hot Wheels real widers. You gotta put it on there and let it spin. I spin it a little bit so it seats, and then it's on there perfect. Really, I have this under magnification. It wobbles, but it's not. And you can't have any bumps on the surface because the car is so close to the ground, but it runs so good. Let's take a look at the headlights. There's a little flipper. Do a little flip. And they do like the tuner style where they kind of like open up a little bit, not all the way. So it's a sweet casting. They knew where to push all the right buttons. And of course, the price point originally was about $20 on the car. It's gone up since then. They're also doing, I guess, just released the all black one, which is going to be crazy. It's for one of the dinners that they're having. So this back glass stays up. It's the engine cover that you have to work. So let's hold this like that. So there's our V6 in there. And I think it's got a Kaido House intake. Let's see if we can Get in there a little bit. Now you can barely see. So it's cool. Obviously that fits awesomely. And then the rear taillights are fantastic. You can see that. And put it in the light a little bit. See if I can get this to focus. And there's the rear exhaust. You can kind of see through the rear diffuser. You see how this piece is right here? It covers a screw, but it's not a big deal. You can get this off. The glue they use is kind of interesting. It's kind of like pliable still. I have not opened this car up. Don't need to. You got the soft rubber mirrors. You got to really careful with those. I'd say not really pocket car status unless you want to do it with the box. So that's what I recommend. Or just carefully put it somewhere where you're traveling. Just a fantastic car. Look at those wheels. The dish on them is sweet. Really nothing to say wrong about this car. I love it. Love everything about it. It's cool. I can't wait to get the other ones. I know a lot of people like the Nissan GTRs and all that, but this one's cool. Now, one more we're going to throw in. We'll just have this chilling. And there's my badass truck. This thing's sweet too. Metal wheels as well. They're just painted black. So I want to get another one of these too. All right. One more. We're going to look at this Dodge. I got the kit. I found it. This is probably the best stock looking Dodge so far from M2 that I've gotten. Let's take a look. I put some Greenlight military tires on it, but this thing is sweet. Of course, I had to use the stock rims, and I had to fill in this more silver. They only do like the center of this. This all has to be painted silver so to look realistic anyway. The size of the sidewall and the skinniness of it really made this look realistic. And the two-tone, this is like an orangish red, like a poppy red with a cream. So just a really good color combination. This is a 78, so really right before those 80s and 82s came, where they were swapping them out for the ones that went through 93. They didn't paint the wheels with a heavy paint, so they have a lot of detail to them. So they look good. I put the old stock motor in because it lets you choose what base motor to put in. I put the old stocker in. You got black interior. You got the beautiful Dodge script on the tailgate. Forgot about this truck. Wanted to show everybody. It's a good one too. All right, probably not as fast as that. Well, we took a little look at some wide variety. We got trucks down to sports cars and tuners. More to come. Hope everybody's enjoying the show. We will talk soon. We got more cars to look at. Thanks for the thumbs up, subscription. Way to contact Migs down below, and in the description of vehicles down below. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Till next time.